It's the recap for Saturday, August 10th, 2024. I'm Daniel Montoya Jr. for General Effect Media, and we did it. It is here, DCI World Championship Finals, where the top 12 will compete in Indianapolis, Indiana. We've had 2 electric days of competition, and while we haven't really had any surprises of who is advancing to semis and to finals, the true battles have been within the top 12 of placements of certain drum corps leaping others, and the possibility of it happening yet again tonight at finals. Now, we've had prelims, we've had semis, we've had open class prelims, open class semis. We are having drumline battle, sound sport battle, DCA all age finals also going on. It's been a long weekend of drum corps, and it all culminates tonight. So let's talk about it. Yesterday we had semifinals, and we had the top 25 that had been whittled down from over 30 plus corps, world class and open class. And then we got our top 12. There weren't any surprises, at least to me, about who was going to be going in. We knew the top 12 basically on Thursday, on Friday, and we know what it's going to be tonight. And that 12th spot was the Madison Scouts. But let's do a quick recap of the placements for semifinals. We had first Blue Coats, second Boston, third Blue Devils, fourth Phantom Regiment, fifth Carolina Crown, sixth Santa Clara Vanguard, seventh Mandarins, eighth Blue Stars, ninth Colts, 10th Troopers, 11th the Cavaliers, and 12th the Madison Scouts. And then if we round out the top 15, Pacific Crest in 13, Blue Knights 14, and Crossman finishes in 15th place. Now, I had mentioned the possibility on my prelims video of Phantom Regiment jumping Carolina Crown, Troopers jumping the Cavaliers, and I wasn't sure if that was going to happen on Friday at semis or just on Saturday. Turns out some of this actually happened at prelims. So now we have to say, or we have to ask or wonder, is there going to be a little intrigue going into Saturday night, which is tonight? Well, let's talk about it in a second. Let's look at where I was right and where I was wrong. And it wasn't like I made predictions about the top 12 in the order or ranking. I knew that those were going to be it, and I didn't make any predictions about that. I did make more thoughts about who was going to do this, who was going to do that. I did say that I thought Phantom Regiment was going to beat Carolina Crown, and I was right. And I did say that I thought Troopers were going to beat the Cavaliers. I was also right. So kudos to me. Let's talk about caption breakdowns. Let's get into nerdy stuff, because that's what we like to do here. Caption breakdowns. If you look at the Blue Coats, pretty much first place all the way with a few second place, but their lowest caption, 4th in percussion. This was down from prelims where they were second. Boston Crusaders, their highest ranking, 1st in color guard, their lowest ranking, visual performance, and brass in 4th. If we go to the Blue Devils, their highest, 1st in feat, visual performance, 4th in one of the GE captions. We go to Phantom Regiment, who's currently in 4th place right now. Their highest captions, 3rd place over the Blue Devils in general effect, and 3rd place in visual over the Boston Crusaders. However, 7th place in color guard. Phantom Regiment currently in 5th right now. Their highest captions, 3rd in brass. Their lowest captions, 6th place for percussion and visual performance. If we go to the Vanguard, they won drums yesterday. 1st place in drums. Is this the first time they've won drums since they came out earlier on the West Coast? Someone correct me on that. However, they were 8th in one of the GE captions. You go to Mandarins, who are comfortably in 7th place. Their highest ranking was a 5th place in feat, lowest 9th in percussion. Blue Stars was in 8th, with their highest being 5th in color guard. 11th in percussion was their lowest caption. And then the Colts, pretty consistently 9th all the way through. They just had 2 10th place rankings in percussion and overall music. We get to the Troopers, who did place 10th, by the way. 7th place in percussion, 15th in color guard. Then we get to the Cavaliers, currently in 11th place. Their highest caption, 8th in percussion. The rest of their captions are scoring 11th and 12th. Then we get to the Madison Scouts. 10th place in GE1 is one of their highest scores. Visual performance, visual analysis, visual rank, all 10th place. 13th in percussion, 13th percussion. If we go a little bit further, Pacific Crest, 10th place in color guard. They have a finalist color guard, 15th in percussion. Jumping down to Crossman, pretty consistent, 14, 15. However, 18th in percussion. If we move down just one drum corps to the Spirit of Atlanta in 16th place, 12th place in percussion. Good for them. Good for them. So let's talk about what the Bluecoats can do to possibly sweep all the captions on Saturday night. Just Saturday night. I mentioned this on the semifinals video, and right now there are 3 captions where the Bluecoats are not first place. Number 1 is visual performance. They scored a 19.25. The top group, the Blue Devils, scored a 19.4, which is a difference of 0.150. Negligible. That could change tonight. Color guard, 19.5 for the Bluecoats, 19.8 for the Boston Crusaders. 0.3, I feel like that's at the threshold of just not quite gonna get there. If it was 2, I think I would be more optimistic, but I think that the Bluecoats they're gonna have to settle for not getting first place in color guard. I don't think that that's a possibility. And then in percussion, last night, which was semifinals, 19.45 for them, 19.75 for the Santa Clara Vanguard. That's a 0.3, which to me is just like the color guard. I think it's on that edge of being just out of reach. So I am going to predict tonight the Bluecoats could win visual performance. I don't think they win color guard, and I don't think they win percussion tonight. Now, I mentioned intrigue about whether or not there could be the possibility of another corps jumping a different corps tonight in finals. The question being, could the Madison Scouts beat the Cavaliers tonight? Let's look at their sub-caption spreads. If we look at the Cavaliers and the Madison Scouts, right now, the Madison Scouts have a 0.200 advantage in general effect. 0.2, remember, that is in that 1 to 3 very comparable. All right. If we go into visual, the Madison Scouts have a 0.300 advantage. Right now, they have a 0.500 advantage in general effect and visual combined. However, when we get into music, the Cavaliers have a 0.950 advantage, not only wiping out the half-point advantage that the Scouts have in general effect and visual, but adding almost a half point to that. So where is that coming from? Well, in brass, the Madison Scouts are at a 0.400 disadvantage. Almost wipes out the advantage they had. You add in music analysis, they have a negative 0.300 disadvantage. So then that's 0.7 right there. And then in percussion, and here's the whopper, 1.2. The Cavaliers are 1.2 above the Madison Scouts. And right now, music analysis, music in general, is keeping the Cavaliers above the Madison Scouts. Now, do I think that this is a possibility? We're talking about almost a point difference between the Madison Scouts and the Cavaliers in an execution-based caption. Music, brass, overall music, percussion. My answer will come at the end. And speaking of the end, tonight we will be crowning the 5 Caption Award winners. Now, reminder, unlike previous years, a long time ago, I think these things have flip-flopped from years to years. The Caption Awards are an average of the 3 nights. So you could lose all 3 nights, but if you're consistent, you could still win that caption. Or you could win the first 2 and lose so bad in the third one that someone else wins. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different scenarios for one to win or lose the Caption Award. Looking at these first 2 nights, we can make some educated guesses based on where things are going, and we can actually just talk about who's leading who in the caption. So let's start at the captions that are more of a foregone conclusion. If we look at general effect, the Bluecoats have won Thursday and they've won Friday. They are winning 39.163 to 38.588. Not a huge leap, but 0.6. It's in that little kind of area of like, I'm not really sure that's going to happen. Bluecoats have won both nights. Boston have been in second both nights. Blue Devils have been in third both nights. If we go into color guard, Boston's been in first both nights. Bluecoats have been in second both nights. Blue Devils have been in third both nights. Right now, the Boston Crusaders are up 19.75 to the Bluecoats 19.55. 0.2 or less than 0.2, just a smidge less than 0.2. Again, I think Boston's got it. If we go into brass, Bluecoats have won both nights. Blue Devils were third in prelims, second in semis. Boston Crusaders were second in prelims, fourth in semifinals. The Bluecoats are up 19.475 to 19.3. I think the Bluecoats have this in the bag as well. Now the fun one, visual caption. Right now, the Bluecoats are in first over the Blue Devils over the Boston Crusaders. The Bluecoats lead the Blue Devils 19.35 to 19.275. That's not a big advantage. Boston's right there to 19.2. Why is this interesting? Because the Bluecoats have not won visual on prelims or semifinals. They've been in second both nights. The Blue Devils were in third in prelims, first in semis. Boston was first in prelims, but fourth in semis. The visual caption may be the one that's the most, I don't know who's going to win this one. Could the Bluecoats win visual by getting second all three nights? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that how the Bluecoats won percussion a year or so ago? Correct, I think I'm right. And then speaking of percussion, another interesting one. Boston's on first, or Boston's up top on first. Boston is first. Santa Clara is second. Bluecoats are third. Boston won drums on prelims, got second at semis. Vanguard got third in prelims, got first in semis. Bluecoats second in prelims, fourth in semis. It's only a 19.625 to 19.575 advantage for Boston over Vanguard. And then Bluecoats are right there at a 19.5, just a difference of 0.125 separating all of the percussion. So you may be asking, well, what do these cores need to do? What do these cores need to score in order to win or not lose, or to not win and lose? Let's talk about the guard caption. In order to tie Boston in the color guard, Bluecoats need to beat them by 0.4 tonight. 0.4. They lost by 0.3. You're talking about a 0.7 swing. I don't think that's going to happen. To tie Boston in color guard, the Blue Devils need to beat them by 0.6. 0.6. Boston, enjoy your color guard award. Now for brass. In order for Boston to tie the Bluecoats, they need to outscore them by 0.5. 0.5. And then outscore Blue Devils 0.15. I'm not sure that's in the cards, because brass scores tend to be so tight, you're asking someone to win by 0.5. For Blue Devils to tie Blue, they need to outscore them by 0.35 and then not be outscored by Boston by more than 0.15. A little more manageable, a little bit more doable for the Blue Devils, but don't really think that's going to happen. And for all you Crownies out there, the only chance for Crown to tie the Bluecoats is to outscore them by 0.65 while outscoring Blue Devils by 0.3 and Boston by 0.15. Enjoy your aught. The first aught for the Bluecoats, enjoy it. Enjoy it. And then in percussion, for Santa Clara to tie percussion, they need to beat Boston by 0.1 and at the most be behind Bluecoats by 0.15. And then for Bluecoats to tie percussion, they need to beat Boston by 0.25, almost 3, and then beat Santa Clara by 0.15. I don't think Bluecoats going to do it in percussion. But let's get to my finals predictions. And as someone had asked in the comment section, I'm going to give scores for 5 of the 12 drum corps. And you'll ask, well, why 5? And you'll find out in a second. Finals predictions. First place, Bluecoats. Foregone conclusion, the champion was crowned in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, I believe. If not Broken Arrow, it was Abilene. If not Abilene, it was definitely San Antonio. It was not going to happen. Bluecoats, undefeated season. I think they win with a 98.450. 98.450. Love for them to get to 99, but I don't think the other cores are going to push them that high. I think in second place, and in my heart, I want to put the Blue Devils in second. My brain is telling me it's going to be Boston. So I will take credit either way for what happens. Boston Crusaders will finish in second with a 97.4, over a point away from Bluecoats. Blue Devils in third with a 97.325. That's right. I think there will be a 0.075 difference between Boston and Blue Devils. And why do I think that? Well, let's look at prelims. In prelims, there was a 0.725 gap between the Blue Devils and the Boston Crusaders. At semifinals, that dropped to 0.450. I think the judges might like what the Blue Devils are doing now. The Blue Devils are performing the snot out of their show. Would it surprise me to see the Blue Devils get second tonight? Not at all. Not at all. But we're talking about a half-point swing. Oh, gosh. The heart says Blue Devils. The brain says Boston. 4th place, Regiment. 5th place, Carolina Crown. 6th place, Santa Clara Vanguard. No changes, no shocking, no surprises. 7th place, Mandarins. 8th place, Blue Stars. 9th place, Colts. 10th place, Troopers. 11th place, pause for tension, the Madison Scouts. I'm going to call it. I'm going to do it, which means the Cavaliers are in 12th. And these are the two cores that I'm going to give you the score for. I think the Cavaliers score an 88.750 in 12th place. 88.750. Daniel, where'd you come up with that score? Well, look at how they've scored in prelims and barely scored in semis. And I'm giving the Scouts an 88.8. If for no other reason than, number one, it needs to be the tightest of gaps between them and Cavaliers. And number two, 1988, Madison Scouts. World Championship. That's right, Scouts over the Cavaliers. Caption Awards. Let's go for it. This is going to be easy. General Effect, the Blue Goats. They're going to win it. Color Guard, Boston Crusaders. They're going to win it. Brass, Blue Coats. They're going to win it. Visual, Blue Coats. I think they either get first or second tonight, and it puts them over the top. It might be a smidge. It might be a scotch, but the Blue Coats are going to win. And here's the hottest of takes. I don't know. Actually, is the Scouts over Cavies the hotter takes? Or is that the percussion caption is going to be a tie between the Boston Crusaders and the Santa Clara Vanguard? Which one's the hotter take? Which one's the more likely to occur? More likely to occur? The percussion tie, I think. Could both happen? Absolutely. Could neither of them happen? 100%. But I think I'm right. So anyway, my finals predictions for scores, for rankings, and caption awards. Finals start in a few hours. Put your predictions, your thoughts, your reactions in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you think about my thoughts about how the season's ending up, wrapping up, all of that stuff. Put it in all the comment section. Want to talk about. Let's pay the bills. It's YouTube. Thumbs up, like, subscribe, leave a notification, leave a comment, all that stuff. Share the video, increase engagement. We'd love it. Buy a shirt. It's down there in the store. It should be linked. It supports our content creators. We'd very much appreciate it. Or give us money at Coffee. You can donate it. It goes to our content creators. All profits minus administrative fees are split amongst our content creators. Click and subscribe to our Instagram. Younger people run it. It's way cooler. You'll enjoy it if you like that type of thing. Subscribe to our Substack if you enjoy the written word. Some great articles, and it lets you know when new podcast episodes are coming out. It's fantastic. Opinions, editorials, news reports, etc. Go click on it. You'll love it. Will we be back tomorrow, Sunday? Absolutely. This might be a 2 or 3 part finals breakdown. Tomorrow will be breakdown, caption breakdown, reaction, etc. I think Monday we may do like a how I ranked the shows, my favorite shows on that. And then Tuesday we might just say goodbye to the 24 DCI season. Not sure. Will Tuesday be a Black Monday recap? I don't know. Decisions have been made. I can tell you with all the certainty in the world, staffing and design changes have been made. Whether that means that the new hires have already been hired, that remains to be seen. But cores know by San Antonio if they're making a change. And if you're feeling your favorite core or whatever core needs to make a change, they know about it. It's going to happen. And conversations happened this week. Whether it's in the tunnel, whether it's outside, whether it's at a restaurant in downtown Indy. Tough conversations have been made. Changes are in motion. Should we do a Black Monday recap on Tuesday? We'll see. It's not uncouth. We're not talking about the kids. We're talking about the adults. And if you think the adults don't deserve that, that's what the money's for. That's what the money's for. All right. Good luck. Enjoy finals. We'll see you tomorrow.